I would also like to acknowledge the team at Meridian Consulting for organizing this event and providing us with the opportunity to connect and learn together. Before we begin, let me extend a warm welcome to everyone joining us today, wherever you may be in the world. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on your time zone. It's wonderful to have such a diverse group here with us. We'd also like to get to know you better, so please take a moment to introduce yourself in the chat. Let us know where you are joining from and share what you find most challenging about managing your time, as this will help us shape our discussion and make the session more interactive and relevant to you. Let's begin. Time is one of our most valuable resources, and effectively managing it is key to achieving both personal and professional success. In this webinar, we will explore practical strategies and actionable techniques to overcome distractions and boost our productivity. Whether we are trying to manage a packed schedule, lead our team more effectively, or simply find better balance in our life, this session is designed to empower you to take control of your time. Time management requires focus and intentional planning to regain control of our day and achieve our goals. While challenges and distractions can make it difficult to make the most of our time, tools like prioritization, goal setting, and organizing our mind and environment can help overcome these obstacles. In today's session, we'll gain strategies to increase productivity in both our personal and professional life and learn how to work smarter, not harder. Now let's begin by reviewing our goals for today. At the end of this webinar, we should be able to plan and prioritize each day's activities in a more efficient and productive manner, overcome procrastination quickly and easily, handle unexpected barriers and distractions, delegate more efficiently, and plan our schedule more appropriately and effectively. Now that we've established our goals, let's delve into the key factors that drives productivity and understand our personal productivity rhythm. This is a very interesting concept because discovering our personal productivity rhythm it plays a crucial role in maximizing our workload and improving time management. This rhythm reflects the times when we are most focused and energized, allowing us to align our tasks with our natural energy cycle. Let's consider an example. If you feel energized and focused between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m., but experience a post-lunch slump, you feel sleepy or drowsy, you can schedule important tasks like drafting a proposal or brainstorming during your morning peak, while saving routine tasks like checking emails for afternoon. By identifying and working with your natural cycles, you can consistently perform at your best when it matters most. Knowing our energy levels. Energy levels fluctuate throughout the day. And if we pay more focus, more attention to ourselves, we will feel that it's essential to prioritize our tasks based on these natural patterns. These fluctuations impact our brain power, our focus, and decision-making abilities. For instance, you may have heard the term morning people and night owls. Morning people often have their peak focus in the early hours and might start their day with challenging tasks like analyzing data or preparing important proposals. In contrast, night owls might reserve creative tasks for evening and use mornings for simpler activities such as organizing their workspace or preparing their calendars. There are many factors like our diet, sleep, stress, which influence our energy patterns. Once we understand our peak times, we can assign critical tasks to those windows to ensure optimal productivity while reducing fatigue. Maintaining work-life balance. The most productive individuals maintain a healthy balance between their professional and personal life. Work-life balance doesn't require splitting time evenly between work and home, but rather we need to prioritize what matters most during those hours. For example, if long work hours are causing you to miss family dinners, set a boundary to finish work by 5 p.m. and dedicate your evenings to family or personal hobbies. Respecting your personal boundaries not only reduces the risk of burnout, but also fosters a healthier, more fulfilling lifestyle. You will feel happy and more relaxed when you're at work and when you're with your family. Taking regular breaks, efficient time management doesn't mean working nonstop. It's an old practice. Trust me, it's no longer appreciated if you have a boss, if you're working in a good company, and a lot of work is going on around the world in the human resources field and how to optimize productivity, how to get your employees more engaged, regular breaks is something that it needs to be incorporated in your life because taking regular breaks is essential to sustain concentration and avoid burnout. A very useful technique that could be used here is Pomodoro, which is a simple yet very effective time management method that boosts focus and productivity. It involves breaking your work into 25-minute focused intervals called Pomodoros, followed by a 5-minute break. After completing 4 Pomodoros, you take a longer break of 15 to 30 minutes. Let's consider if you're working on a report, you set a timer for 25 minutes and concentrate solely on the task, on working on your report. Once the timer goes off, you take a short break of 5 minutes to recharge and then get back to work. Once you complete your assigned 4 groups, you take a longer break for 15 to 30 minutes. The structured approach helps reduce mental fatigue and keeps you motivated throughout the day. And you will also feel like you're achieving the milestones you have set yourself for. One more technique is time batching. Time batching is a powerful productivity strategy that involves grouping similar tasks together and dedicating uninterrupted time to complete them. Unlike multitasking, which divides focus, batching allows you to work efficiently without breaking your workflow. For instance, instead of checking emails throughout the day, set aside two 30-minute blocks, one in the morning and one in the afternoon, to process and respond to messages. Similarly, you can batch phone calls or meeting preparations or administrative work into specific time slots. This approach minimizes context switching and keeps you in the flow and helps you build structure into your daily routine. Now, with this in mind, let's explore some practical techniques to streamline your time management efforts. Managing time with goals. Goal setting is critical for effective time management. It serves as the foundation for productivity by helping us focus on what truly matters and hold ourselves accountable. When we set clear goals, we create a vision for a prosperous future and a roadmap for getting there. Goals can be applied to every area of life. It can be your financial goals, financial stability. It can be your physical fitness goals, our personal goals, relationships, or even spirituality. Because our future is a direct result of our actions today. By focusing on our goals, we can take control of our time and achieve our aspirations. Now, let's explore how goal setting can be applied in both professional and personal contexts. Because when we talk about time management, we are not just looking at the professional aspect of it, but also the personal aspect. So our entire time, entire a complete set of routine is more balanced and more nuanced. To make it relatable, I will share two examples. When you're setting a professional goal, for example, you can say complete a work project by Friday. May help me. It may help. Pro, it may help prioritize my tasks throughout the week. Whereas a personal goal may be something like aiming to run 3 times a week to prepare for a 5K marathon in 3 months. So when we are looking at setting goals, we need to consider both aspects of our life, the professional and the personal aspects. Setting smart goals. Smart goals are essential because they provide structure and clarity. When we are setting goals, we need clear goals, what to make it more relatable to us. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timed. This approach ensures our goals are actionable and attainable. Specific means your goals are clearly defined. We need to define what we want to achieve. For example, let's say in your if you're working with IT or you're working in the marketing, you want to increase the website traffic by 25% in the next quarter through targeted campaigns, targeted ad campaigns, and content updates. Your goals should also be measurable. We can use we should use metrics to track progress. For example, lose 5 pounds in 2 months by tracking calories and exercising 3 times a week. As we all know, it's a new year and January just started. So losing weight is one of the most popular goals people set at the beginning of each year. Your goals should also be achievable. Make sure that the goals you're setting are realistic and based on your resources, and also consider the constraints. For example, you can say that I want to learn basic conversational French in 3 months using an online course and daily practice, which is both realistic and you may have the resources for it as well. Your goal should be relevant. Ensure your goals align with your overall priorities, like completing a public speaking course to improve career prospects. And timed. We need to assign deadlines to stay motivated. For example, completing a quarterly business report by the 15th of January ensures that you have timely review and you have the time to review and submit it. And once you give yourself a deadline, you are bound to complete it. You feel that you're answerable to your own self. Visualizing your goals. Visualization helps us create a mental image of success, which boosts motivation and strengthens our commitment to achieving our goals. This practice enables us to focus on the benefits of achieving our objectives, reinforcing our drive and reducing procrastination. To visualize effectively, we need to imagine the emotions and the sensory experiences tied to our success. One method that we can use is vision boards, which are very powerful tools used by almost all the successful people you hear about. It's like the daily reminders of our aspirations. Place a vision board where you can see it many times a day. Let's consider if we look at some examples for visualization in your professional life. Visualization might be something like Visualize delivering a successful presentation and receiving a positive feedback from your colleagues or your boss. And your personal life, picture yourself crossing the finish line of a marathon and feeling the sense of accomplishment. The four P's of goal setting. To set effective and meaningful goals, it's important to ensure they align with the four P's of goal setting: personal, positive, possible, and prioritized. These principles provide a solid foundation for achieving success and staying focused on what truly matters. Personal goals should reflect your dreams and values, not those of others. Example of personal goal could be: I will build my own photography business this year, combining my passion for art and entrepreneurship. Your goal should be positive. State your goals affirmatively. Instead of saying, stop procrastinating, say something positive like, I will complete my tasks on time. It should be possible. Be realistic about your capabilities and resources. For example, obtain a professional certification within 6 months by dedicating 2 hours a day to study. It should be prioritized. Focus on what matters most now. Prioritization is a key which helps you know which goals are most important right now in your life. For example, prioritize completing a key certification over less impactful goals like learning a hobby that you want to do sometime that you want to do. For example, learning to draw or craft. You can do it, but does it have the priority in your life right now? So prioritize your goals accordingly. Then creating your productive journal. Productivity journal is an effective tool to organize your daily tasks and track progress. Use separate journals for personal and professional tasks to maintain a healthy work-life balance. Prioritize tasks in order of importance and focus on completing the top 3 items first. Here's how listing tasks can help you stay organized and focus in both professional and personal settings. For your professional journal, record tasks like drafting a proposal, preparing a team meeting, and maybe sending follow-up emails. Whereas your personal journal can list activities such as grocery shopping, attending a fitness class, and scheduling a dentist appointment. Now let's look at prioritizing your time. Time management is all about managing yourself in relation to time. Prioritizing helps focus your attention on tasks that align with your goals instead of wasting energy on less important activities. Prioritizing it helps us focus on what truly matters to us, both at work and in our personal lives. Some examples could be completing a client report due tomorrow before attending an optional meeting, because your priority is the client report and not the optional meeting. And in your personal life, it may look something like spending quality time with your family instead of just mindlessly scrolling through social media. Then we have the 80-20 rule, which is an excellent tool to apply. Once you get hold of it, it is actually invaluable. Applying the 80-20 rule, or it's also known as the Pareto principle, it helps you focus on the most impactful tasks to maximize productivity. In a professional setting, this means prioritizing high-value activities that contribute most to our goals. Here's how we can apply it both in professional and personal settings. You may concentrate on developing relationships with top clients who generate the majority of your revenue. Focus on high priority projects that directly impact our team's performance or organizational growth, or spend time mentoring and training your key employees who have the potential to drive long-term success for our department or our company. In our personal life, we may dedicate effort to decluttering our most used spaces, like kitchen, rather than less frequented areas like the garage. The 80-20 rule can be applied to almost all areas of our lives. It can be your tasks, your professions, your health, your relationships, your habits, your decisions, your activities, etc. Next, we have the urgent and important matrix. This is also an excellent tool to use. It's also known as the Eisenhower matrix, by the way. It's a tool that helps to prioritize tasks based on their urgency and importance, enabling us to focus on what truly matters and manage our time effectively. Here is how to apply it. You will see four quadrants. The first being urgent and important. We need to do these activities first. These tasks are both time sensitive and essential to our goals. They should be handled immediately to prevent negative consequences. Tasks here or activities may look something like resolving a pressing client issue or meeting a crucial project deadline. These are the tasks that directly affect our work and need our immediate attention. Next, we have the important, but not urgent. We need to schedule it. These tasks are important for long-term success, but do not require immediate action. Plan and allocate time for these tasks to prevent them from becoming urgent later. An example could be drafting a long-term project proposal or developing a strategy for an upcoming business quarter. These tasks contribute to our objectives, but can be scheduled without the pressure of a deadline. Next, we have the urgent, but not important. We need to delegate these. These tasks need immediate attention, but are not essential to our primary goals. Delegate them to others if possible, or minimize the time spent on them. You may find something like answering non-critical emails or attending meetings that don't require active participation. These tasks are actually time sensitive, but don't impact our core responsibilities directly. We'll get back to delegation later in this webinar. And lastly, we have not urgent and not important. We need to eliminate or delete these tasks. These activities are distractions that provide little to no value. We need to avoid or eliminate them to free up time for more important tasks. A good example is watching excessive TV during work hours or scrolling through social media mindlessly. These are not essential to our goals and can be avoided to maintain focus and productivity. Now, remember, activities like spending time with loved ones or self-care often fall under important but not urgent and shouldn't be overlooked. By applying these techniques and principles, you can take control of your time and we can increase our productivity and focus on what truly matters in both our personal and professional life. Now let's look at some advanced time management techniques. As we are all working professionals here, we know the importance of practicing assertiveness because assertiveness is a powerful time management skill, especially when it comes to saying no, which is often very difficult, and often requests from others conflict with our own goals and values and simply exceed our available time. So practicing a positive no allows us to decline politely while maintaining our relationships. There are certain techniques to say a positive note without hurting someone's feelings. For example, you can say no with an honest explanation. When your colleague asks you to join a meeting, you can say, I can't join the meeting because I'm finalizing a report that's due today. You can also say no with a brief reasoning. avoiding an excuse. You can say, I can't take on these tasks right now as I'm prioritizing another project, which is due tomorrow or today. You can say no with an alternative solution, like, I'm unable to complete this today, but I can work on it tomorrow morning. Or you can empathetically reframe the request to say no. But being a little bit empathetic with others' request, you can say, I understand this needs immediate attention, but I can't handle it for you right now. Because staying assertive helps us remain focused and avoid unnecessary distractions. Then we have chunk, block, and tackle. If any one of you here belongs to project management or is working in the project management, they may be well aware that large projects can feel overwhelming and making it hard to start. This methods of chunk, block, and tackle helps you break down these tasks and allocate focus time and make steady progress. Chunk means dividing the project into tasks that take 15 minutes or less. For example, writing, instead of saying write a report, break it down into outline the main points and then draft the introduction. Then block. Set specific times to tackle each chunk, preferably early in the day. You can schedule 30 minutes from, say, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. for the first chunk. And once you have chunk and blocked, then it's time to tackle. Focus solely on the selected chunk during the allocated time. And like you have 30-minute block and focus only on drafting the introduction which you wrote down without distractions. Completing even one chunk gives us a sense of accomplishment, and it also gives us the momentum to keep going. As we implement these techniques, there is a huge problem that is procrastination that poses a challenge. Now let's move on and discuss how to tackle procrastination. Procrastination actually, it undermines our productivity and delays progress on meaningful goals. While procrastinators, I do that often too, we all are guilty of procrastination at one time or the other. So while we understand our responsibilities, we opt for less important tasks or distractions. Overcoming procrastination requires understanding its root causes and employing practical strategies. We need to understand why we procrastinate in the first place. Recognizing why procrastination occurs is the first step to breaking the habit. Common reasons of procrastination may include that we have no clear deadlines, we are feeling overwhelmed by the task, or we lack the resources like the time or information to complete the task, or we fear failure or success, or we have no interest or lack of passion for work. If we want to overcome procrastination, we need to focus on the most important tasks and approach them strategically. In the following, we'll explore several techniques that can help you overcome procrastination and stay productive. Starting with practical ways to break tasks down and then stay focused. You can delete it. Decide if the task is necessary by applying the 80-20 rule and that don't need your attention. If it's important, do it. If it's not important, delete it. Or you can delegate it. Assign tasks to others if they aren't within your key responsibilities. You can delegate, for example, data entry to an assistant while you focus on market plan for the next quarter. Or you can do it now. Complete essential tasks early in the day to avoid stress and anxiety. For example, tackle a client proposal first thing in the morning before other distractions arise. You can also ask for advice by seeking guidance from a mentor or expert to clarify priorities and steps. Just ask them, can you help me identify where to start with this new software implementation? Or you can chop it up by breaking the task into milestones and actionable steps. Instead of launch a marketing campaign, we can start with drafting the email content first. We also need to set clear deadlines. By writing down deadlines and sharing them with others, we are creating the accountability to get the work done. And don't forget to reward the progress. Rewards are important. Celebrating milestones are important to reinforce motivation. Treat yourself to a coffee break or finishing after you finish your presentation slides or you finish a project. Celebrate along with your team for a positive impact. Now, beyond procrastination, having an organized workspace can significantly impact our ability to stay on track. How can we organize our workspace? First, think that an organized workspace fosters productivity. It reduces wasted time and helps us stay focused on the task at hand. A cluttered environment can be distracting and lead to unnecessary stress. By establishing efficient systems for both the physical and digital files, we can streamline our workflow and easily access the material we need. Some approaches that can help us organizing our workplace are we can have categorize our files into some category in different types. For example, our working files, reference files, or archival files. These are the materials we need in different places, stored in different places. For example, our working files, we can keep them within easy reach, so we can access them quickly and when needed. The reference files can go in store area where they're accessible, less accessible for occasional references. And the archival files can be stored separately, so when we can retrieve them when needed. We can also label the folders on our computers or the actual hard files as invoices or contracts, or we can label them in chronological orders to make it more easily accessible. Now, let's look at dealing with workplace distractions. Because distractions are inevitable, but managing them effectively is key to maintaining productivity and focus. Distractions, whether from noise, colleagues, or digital temptations, can disrupt our flow and eat into valuable work time. By taking proactive steps to minimize these interruptions, we can improve concentration and accomplish more and keep our workday on track. Some common workplace distractions and solutions could be office noise, so you can close your door or use noise canceling headphones. There can be talkative coworkers. You can politely explain that you need to concentrate or wear headphones as non-verbal signals, or smartphones or social media. You can set your phone to do not disturb mode, or you can use website blockers or emails. Sometimes emails can also be the cause of distraction. So instead of checking emails constantly, set specific times throughout the day to check and respond to emails. By addressing these distractions, we can create a more productive and focused work environment, making it easier to stay on top of tasks and meet deadlines. Decluttering is also very important, as it impacts efficiency by making it harder to locate what we need. The time we spend decluttering takes time, but the time we spend organizing will pay off in long run. Decluttering not only helps you reclaim your space, but also enables you to prioritize what truly matters. Some steps for decluttering are sort and discard, evaluate items for value, and discard what's unnecessary. You can file efficiently by organizing categories and labeling it clearly. Example, digitize old documents to reduce paper clutter. And we can maintain order by scheduling a weekly cleanup or staying organized. We have already looked at working different categories for our place, dividing our files as working files, reference files, and archival files. We just need to sort, discard, file efficiently, and maintain the order of these files. Then we can also use, alongside organizing the space, we can leverage tools and technology to amplify our efficiency by using calendars to manage our tasks effectively. We can organize reminders into a few calendars and lists for easy review. A calendar, paper or electronic, is ideal for recording meetings, appointments, and due dates. It helps us plan our day and focus on key tasks. For instance, using an electronic calendar like Outlook or Google Calendar to set reminders for team meetings or client deadlines. For those people with multiple responsibilities, an annual calendar categorized by areas like budget, personnel, schedule, and planning can be helpful. For example, a department head can use a planner to allocate specific tasks by month, such as budget planning in January, or performance reviews in June, or key tasks for each area by month to quickly see what needs attention. Record important appointments immediately and include essential details such as deadlines and locations. For example, when scheduling a doctor's appointment, note the address and documents to bring, because a well-maintained calendar is a vital tool for effective time management. Next, we have setting a ritual. Ritual plays a powerful role in motivating, disciplining, and providing focus. While many associate this word ritual with a repetitive life, rituals and routines can foster more freedom and enjoyment. By planning routine tasks, you can create space for creativity and fun. For instance, think about a morning ritual of meditation or exercise and coffee. It can set a positive tone for our day. But building any ritual it takes some time to getting used to. So we can break it down into 3 steps. First is to identify the task. We can establish, for example, an exercise ritual because it's still January and we are looking at the New Year resolutions, and becoming more healthy is usually one of, as we have discussed earlier, one of the top most important resolution each year. And we can see the first few weeks of how gyms are overflowing with people over ambitious resolutions and how jogging tracks are super busy. So yes, we can identify the task by establishing an exercise ritual. And then we need to identify the time or trigger. Perhaps you may want to exercise right after work, or you may want to exercise right after you wake up. Then we need to identify the subtasks. Your ritual might involve, when you go for exercise, you stretch, and then you do the weight training, and then you may take a swim, and then afterward you shower and take a shower in bed, then you head home. But do remember that rituals are flexible and should not be rigid. If you consider your workout routine and you think it's becoming stale, you can replace swimming with yoga or something else that keeps you motivated. Once established, rituals can be adjusted as needed to fit your goals. Dealing with time barriers. Because change is inevitable, even with planning, unexpected interruptions can arise and demand our attention. And it can also hinder success. For instance, a technology failure might delay a project deadline. Reflecting on how to regain lost time during such moments can help you stay on track and prepared. So, what can be time barriers? Unexpected long tasks. Unexpectedly long tasks. When you're scheduling tasks, just think that tasks often take longer than expected. For instance, if you're planning on troubleshooting a software issue, you might consider doubling your time estimate. Avoid letting, avoid letting such situations overwhelm you. Instead, just pause, regroup, and refocus. Moving the task to your priorities list and revisiting it later can also help. To prevent the impact of unexpected long tasks, you may include buffer time in your schedule, use a timer for recurring tasks to improve future planning, or you can simply overestimate task duration, such as allocating an hour for a meeting that might only take 45 minutes. Then there might be some life events. Because productivity fluctuates during life events such as illness, marriage, or a baby's arrival, these events can affect your ability to meet deadlines, leading to feelings of being overwhelmed in such times. In such times, we need to slow down, process the event, and reassess priorities. For example, inform your manager about a major life event and you may delegate tasks where possible. Contingency plans also help. Prepare contingency plans like identifying a backup for your responsibilities in case there is some emergency. Fear of failure. A common barrier to success is the fear of failure. When employees fear a task, they often delay it. It can waste valuable time, but you may consider a writer who might procrastinate on a report, fearing it won't meet the expectations of their boss. Some tips to overcome fear of failure, some things that might help you, is to confront your fears by identifying its root and steps to manage it. You may also visualize yourself successfully achieving your goal, and or you may take small steps to build confidence and reduce fear over time. Then we have the power of positive thinking. A positive mindset is key to productivity. When faced with challenges, we can either feel defeated or stay positive and focused on goals. You may think about how after a presentation mistake, you can focus on improving next time. Because positive affirmations are powerful for improving time management. Try saying to yourself, I am great at time management. It will reshape thinking and it will motivate you for better habits. A positive mindset encourages us, it encourages us in creating positive changes. Now let's look at benefits of good time management. Because time is limited, as we all know that, and is and respecting it is essential for success. Effective time management will help us stay on top of our responsibilities and maintaining control. For instance, setting a clear schedule for a project reduces stress and enhances outcome. We can also improve quality of work by because strong performance relies on focus. By planning and prioritizing time, we can give ample attention to assignments, like dedicating 2 uninterrupted hours to drafting a proposal, which will yield higher quality than fragmented intervals. Time management will eliminate procrastination and distractions. It will ensure we are more productive. Greater confidence. Confidence is a driver of success. And if we learn to manage time effectively, it will boost self confidence and workplace happiness. For instance, if once we complete a week's to do list, it will foster accomplishment and it will motivate us. It will also reduce stress because effective time management includes breaks to recharge. Proper planning will prevent procrastination and deadline stress. By prioritizing, delegating, or declining irrelevant tasks, it will reduce the pressure of an overwhelming workload. It will also help you make, it will improve your better career. It will help you make better, it will improve your career prospects. Sorry about that. Because good time management skills are valued by employers, consistently delivering quality work on time will build our reputation and it will also open advancement opportunities. For instance, if we arrive at work well rested and organized, it will allow us to be more confident and we can make better decisions. And lastly, team collaboration. Effective team management improves teamwork. Effective time management improves teamwork. And employees who manage time well will communicate respectfully, reducing conflicts. Because a team with clear individual deadlines collaborates more smoothly and avoids delays. So before we wrap up, let's just sum everything together. Because throughout the webinar, we have covered tools and strategies to master time management. Let's summarize the key points with practical steps. First, let's look at the plan and prioritizing effectively. We can start each day by identifying three key priorities by using realistic timeframes and include buffer periods and leverage tools like Eisenhower matrix, the urgent and important matrix to prioritize tasks. We can set and visualize goals. Practice effective goal setting by using the SMART criteria, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals, and visualization techniques to stay focused and motivated. We can overcome procrastination by breaking large tasks into smaller manageable steps to make progress easier and more achievable. And we can handle unexpected barriers when distractions or obstacles arise. We can pause, reassess our priorities, and adjust our plans accordingly. We can delegate tasks when possible to maintain focus. We can practice efficient task delegation by assigning responsibilities to our team members who are best suited for specific tasks to optimize workflow. And we can utilize calendars and rituals because using calendars to schedule tasks, track deadlines, and establish flexible rituals for recurring activities, and it will ensure consistency while allowing room for adjustments. Now let's talk about setting a SMART goal just to wrap everything up and to put everything in practice. We will try to set a SMART goal for this week that will help us improve our time management and utilize this strategies and tools we went throughout this webinar. Here is the goal. By the end of this week, you can choose one specific area of time management to focus on. And this could be something like optimizing your morning routine or finding ways to reduce distractions during work hours. Once you have chosen your focus, you can create a simple action plan with at least 2 actionable steps to improve in that area. Then you can track your progress daily and aim for a measurable, let's say 50% improvement in your efficiency or focus by the end of the week. Now, to put this goal more simply, we can use SMART framework by making this goal specific. This goal should be clear and targets one time management issue at a time. It should be measurable. As we said earlier, the result is tangible. So a 50% improvement in our chosen area. It should be achievable by breaking it down into small steps. And it should be doable as well. Now, it should be relevant to us. Improving the time management must align directly with our broader personal and professional goals, and it should be time bound. So you have until the end of the week to accomplish this. To make this goal easier, we can use tools and strategies to support our efforts. Consider tools like time tracking apps such as Toggle or Clockify to monitor where your time goes. You can also try productivity techniques like Pomodoro technique or focused work intervals or Eisenhower metrics to prioritize tasks effectively. Remember, daily tracking and reflection are essential, and take a few minutes at the end of each day to ask yourself questions like what went well today? What could I improve? Or am I on track to meet my goal? By the end of the week, not only will you see measurable improvements, but you will also have developed a habit of analyzing and refining your time management practices. So let's make this week the start of better productivity and more control over how we manage our time. I hope this webinar helped you. And let me see if we have Kazar here and he wants to take any questions from our audience today.
Yes, I'm here. If anyone has any questions, they can continue and ask Miss Fatma, and we will continue this webinar.
Allow me, first of all, Fatma, thank you so much for this very short, constructive, and comprehensive webinar for the time management. And of course, it's very short time frame. So, a couple of questions. If allow me, I raise one question in the chat regarding the time management in terms of the time boxing. Na? Number one. And the second question relevant to this one, like time management is mostly effective for the project manager or project management task. So how do we handle in principle the time management strategy in Scrum or what you call daily standing meetings? Na? Of course, we generally focus on the activities that what went well, but we don't focus on how we did well in the time boxing na, or time management. Can you highlight something which can improve or can be beneficial? First of all, thank you so much for the session and very well constructive and comprehensive webinar. My first question is related to the time boxing principle. How this time management is relevant to the time boxing, na? In terms of Scrum Master or any project management time scheduling task, na? The second question, which is mostly relevant to the Scrum or Agile methodology, where we generally spoke in terms of what you call backlog, and we have the daily standing meeting, but where we mostly focus on what well went, what gone wrong, but generally we did not focus this task in relevant to the time management. So how can we include as a topic in Scrum or Agile, which focus especially on the time constraints?
Okay, that's an excellent question. First of all, I think if you're talking about Scrum and Agile in project management, we do look at both the efficiency and as you said, what went well and what went wrong. As well as when we look at efficiently, we also consider time. If I'm not wrong, we also have this tool called the Kanban board. Kanban, including Scrum with Kanban board can actually bring these two together. Because on a Kanban board, we can say what are the activities are and which activities are your top priorities, which are in progress and which you have completed. So once you have your task, in your Scrum, you have the task, which I think it's called sprints. And once you have this chunk or blocks of sprints and you start moving your task from Scrum to Kanban, you can divide it as like your top priorities. And when it's in your top priority, you're focusing more time on it. And then once it's in progress, you can say, okay, this has been moved. Now what's in order to, what next need our attention next? And then you move the next task. And then when it's completed, you can see the tasks that you have, the blocks of the tasks that you have. You're assigning your time according to the blocks, your time blocking, you're batching the tasks in different groups, blocking your time for your task, and then you're moving your tasks from your Scrum or to your Kanban board. And so you can see that it's like moving from one phase to another. And then you can also assign time in your Scrum Kanban board, because then you can see how much time you're spending on each task. Once we prioritize our task, let's say a project kickoff meeting. So once we have everything in place, we can say we're going to assign this 15 days, 5 days, 10 days for audit. Maybe we need to audit. And then once we're complete with this, we can say now we can move ahead and start with the project kickoff meeting. And then we go further with the plan. So I think just mixing and matching these different tools, and even if you're using one tool, we can incorporate time as how much we're spending on each activity or block of activity will help it become more timely to manage. Let me know if that helps.